Team USA doesn't look right. Is that a fair thing to say? They don't look right. And I don't know if that team goes on to win gold in basketball, but I'm telling y'all right now, that team doesn't look right. And more than doesn't look right, it doesn't feel like they're being put in the best positions to win. And I think in large part that has to do with the guy coaching the team right now. Gregg Popovich has not been great in any of his tenures as head coach in Team USA. We obviously know what happened back in 2004. I am not the biggest Popovich guy. I've always thought, between the three big monsters, Popovich, Saban, and obviously Belichick, I've always thought Coach Pop was the lesser of the three, and I think I've been proven right over the years. Every day that goes by, I feel like Tim Duncan, who's been retired and already in the Hall of Fame for over 5 years now, every day I feel like his legacy gets something added to it. Like, the more I look at Popovich and how he struggled post the Duncan era in San Antonio, the more I think, maybe this was more about Duncan than I thought. We gave Pop a lot of credit for some of those great Spurs teams, and be clear, he had one really good season with Kawhi. But other than that, since Duncan has left, it ain't been the greatest run with him in San Antonio. Guys are trying their best to get away. DeMar DeRozan couldn't wait to get out of San Antonio. LaMarcus Aldridge couldn't wait to leave. And now I'm looking at this Team USA where you got the best of the best in regard to Kevin Durant, who some believe is the best basketball player in the world. Bare minimum top 3 in the world. Damian Lillard, top 10 basketball player. You got them two guys. It should literally be put whatever you got around it, and you figure it out. The Bam Adebayos of the world, the Zach LaVines of the world. These are immensely talented dudes. Bam Adebayo was in the finals less than 10 months ago. Zach LaVine is a super scorer. Man, I'm not even naming all the guys. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton fresh off of a championship. You bring in Devin Booker, and you still lose to France? You still lose to Evan Fournier, Rudy Gobert in France? No disrespect, but fam, we talking about Team USA here. This is us. And I think the blame game is starting to point in one direction. Pop. Yeah, according to Joe Varden over at The Athletic, he claims that players are starting to get frustrated as well. He said, to be clear, Popovich is horrified by his own record coaching this team. He dwells on it and hates to losing. The players are frustrated too, grumbling on their way back to the locker room about running that San Antonio Spurs offense when apparently they feel like there are better ideas. Pop has said because of the truncated nature of Team USA's training camp, the offense will be based on concepts instead of set plays. Yeah, concepts, contraceptive. I don't care what they need to do. Gregg Popovich and company needs to figure it out. And I do believe one of Pop's downfalls is the fact that he doesn't strike me as a guy that's open to other people's ideas. Like that, all that discipline that Pop has preached over the last 20 years, I get it. I like a little discipline in my life. I'm still yes ma'am, no sir, yes sir to pretty much everybody I meet. Oftentimes the people who are younger than me. That's who I am. I like discipline. But you're a fool to think that things haven't changed. We have ideas. We're young. Like, young people have more ideas. I'm 27, so I'm around probably the typical age on Team USA. Like, guys have ideas. When they don't feel like they're being heard, instead of talking it out, they go get on their phones and tweet about it, Instagram post about it, go to burner accounts and talk about it. Like, go on IG Live and talk about it. This is what happens today. Not saying I do it, but that is how a lot of people in my generation handle their issues instead of just dealing with it. I do believe somebody like Pop should be open to more ideas. If you watch some of the documentaries and feature stories on Team USA when Coach K was running the show, I mean, be clear. They had obviously bigger personalities and I would argue more iconic players in the Kobe's and the Brons and the D-Wades of the world. But Kevin Durant was still around. He saw some of that. He knew how the things were ran. And if nobody else can say, yo, no, we ain't do it like that, Pop. Because Pop was around. Like, he knows that. Like, it should be Popovich. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't think Dame's Kobe. I don't think Booker's Kobe or D-Wade. But to, disrespect these guys and not value their opinions, I think is ridiculous. Like, y'all need to talk this thing out. Because all that keeps happening is Team USA keeps getting outplayed. Everybody knows that they're not the better team in any of the games that you're watching them, right? And when the game is over, Pop goes to the presser and says, yes, I hate when you guys say Team USA should have won by this many points because you're disrespecting France. You're disrespecting this team. You're disrespecting that team. No, when people start talking like that, you know what they're trying to do? They're deflecting. And that's what Pop is doing. When you go up to the podium and you get into it with a reporter and you start calling him out and not letting him finish his thoughts and start challenging his integrity as a journalist, you're deflecting. This happens in relationships. This happens when things are not going right. People start deflecting, and that's what Pop is doing. He is playing the good old deflect game and trying to mask it as, but you're disrespecting other countries that have gotten better. Yeah, I do believe countries are better. If you're going to tell me Luka and Slovenia are going to compete with Team USA, I get it. If you're going to tell me Spain, some of these other countries are going to be able to compete with Team USA, I get it. But fam, France, like, nah. And France is always feisty. Don't get me wrong, but not that France team. We should not be losing to them. You're telling me the Argentinas of the world, Slovenia because they got Luka, all-time guy to meet? I get it. But that France team had no business competing with us over the weekend. And Pop's, to me, the biggest blame. And now the players are speaking out about it, as they should.